Okay, here we go. This hangout is on the air. That's what it's telling me. Hey, good evening, you guys, and welcome. Welcome to my condo, right? I'm living up here in Carefree, Arizona, about to move. When I'll be broadcasting here in about a couple of weeks from now. Where do you see the place where I'm going to be moving? Listen, I'm really, really excited about this evening, about what we have planned for you. This is the very first ever Traffic Academy hangout. Now, I'm going to open up this chat for just a second, and then we're going to close it down because I want you guys to be paying attention tonight, right? I don't want you to be chatting. Hey, Kara. Hey, Les. Hello there, Imran. Joe Galucci, how are you this evening? And there's Dennis checking in. Wendy, hello from Virginia. Hello, Eric and Ron and Charlotte. How's it going? I want to say hi to Natalie. Natalie, what's going on? My homegirl from Chicago. Sydney from Jersey. Good morning. Talked to you earlier this morning on the radio broadcast. Pretty cool. Listen, I'm going to shut the chat down because I want your guys' undivided attention here right now. Give me 1 second. Think. There you go. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? You'll be the last one. All right, listen, I want to get right to it this evening and bring you guys up to speed exactly on where we are and what is going on here right now. Okay, just to recap for you guys who may be joining us for the very first time. You know, my name is Joe. I'm the Chief Communications Director here. I'm the guy that you hear every single morning at radioleverage.com. And as you can see, I have a face built for radio, don't I? But we do come to you live on a webinar a couple times a week, and normally we come on Tuesday nights, and what we do is share with you some training, some information to get you out of the gate and get you going. As you know, on Thursday nights, we do something called a conversion webinar, and the goal there is to help people actually make the decision to move from prospect to fully engaged as a member of our community. Well, tonight is the very first time that we're doing a Traffic Academy webinar. Now, let me give you a refresher of what really the Traffic Authority is. There are three components to Traffic Authority. Okay, there is the Traffic Optimizer. Okay, the optimizer is where you get all of the tools, things like split testers and rotators, and you get access to a whole bunch of stuff, lots of training. Of course, the reseller license is available there in that Traffic Optimizer package. We also have the Traffic Academy. Traffic Academy is an upgrade. Traffic Academy is an additional $97 per month, and it is jam-packed with education. Tonight, you're going to see exactly what we've been talking about and what we've been promising. And then the third of the three T's is actual traffic. Now, I know everyone is excited about the traffic, and I want to be clear. I want you to be clear. I want you to understand really what the traffic is and what it is meant to do. I know many people receive what appears to be an instant microwave result. Everybody knows who Vincent Ortega Jr. is, right? $150,000 in his first 30 days, give or take, maybe 160, 175 by now. And I want you guys to understand, as Vincent always says, it took him nearly 7 years to cultivate and develop his list. And what does that really mean, to develop and cultivate a list? That's what we're going to be learning here this evening, okay? Let me tell you a little bit of a story that happened to me just last night, right? I was posting up some email, right? Those of you guys who do subscribe and you get email from us every single day as Traffic Authority members, we get email going every single day, and there's a lot more coming. So last night, I was actually setting up the email to roll, right, to be broadcast at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern. And it was the copy was so good, right? It was like my ass was kicked. As a matter of fact, I was so blown away that I just was on my laptop and I saw that Adam Whiting was online. And I sent Adam I hit him up, right? I sent him a Skype and I said something like, dude, who writes this copy? You know, I want to learn how to write this copy because this is killer shit. This is what I said to him. And his response was this. He goes, you know who writes that copy? He says, Darren Hanser writes that copy. He goes, that's the guy. My secret weapon is Darren. And that's who you're going to be meeting here this evening, okay? Darren is going to plant some ideas in your head about what that list, like the Vincent Ortega list, okay? What does that really, what does it take to get there, to build something that robust and that cool? And now here's the last thing before I bring Darren Hanser out here. I want you guys to understand what you're experiencing tonight is very, very interesting because it's a taste. Right? We're going to reveal to you Darren Hanser. He's going to share with you what he does. The guy has epic results. You know, this is the guy who his correspondence, his email, his connecting with people put like 100,000 people into a company within a 10-month period. I mean, this is serious, serious stuff. Okay, and what you're going to be seeing tonight, you're going to be introduced to Darren. It's in real time. He's going to show you some stuff. However, those of you who have the Traffic Academy package, and later in this webinar, you're going to have an opportunity to upgrade your position from Traffic Optimizer to Traffic Academy. Because what Darren is going to be offering here this evening, and it's a retail product, it's worth thousands of dollars. You can go out there on the internet and pay for it yourself and pay hundreds of dollars. But as a member of the Traffic Academy, it's included in your membership. It's free. And later you're going to learn how you can take Darren's information, his killer content, and use that to monetize your list. And stick around to the end of the webinar because I've got some really, really cool things to share with you guys that have just come online today. Okay, just brand new, fresh stuff for resellers. I'll talk about that at the end of Darren's session. Darren Hanser, come on out here. The floor is yours, and so good to have you here, dude. Really excited.
Hey, man. Thanks, Joe. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, I just think it's awesome that there's so many people out here as resellers. I've been involved with, behind the scenes with Adam and doing things with you guys. And I just think it's amazing being a part of a community that just has so much momentum coming out of the gate. And I want to talk tonight really about what you guys can be accomplishing at an even greater level, because there's a few things that we're going to be presenting later on that you're going to have access to. I know Joe just kind of alluded to the fact that you're going to have access to a product that is sold in the market. In fact, this week I have webinars selling at retail. Okay, so this is giving access to hundreds of people for significantly lower than I would even give it to my wife. But the reality is, with the combination of what you sell, which is traffic and tools and resources to help people build businesses, there's almost, I hate to say it, but there's almost a missing piece of the puzzle, because traffic in itself can't do anything. Traffic in itself is just somebody looking at an opportunity or a piece of writing or a video. What actually makes sales is that connection between the traffic that you have, which are people who are interested, qualified, ready to buy, and also matching that to a compelling connection that you can make with yourself and the offer that you're presenting them. So what we do with email, and that's why we kind of did this first, is because it's a perfect match between what you offer, which is traffic, and how you can now start to monetize your list in a way that will help you kind of get past that dependent status. Okay, and I see this a lot, and I'm going to go through a PDF that the people that are going to be members of the Traffic Academy are going to get access to, as well as a complete boot camp on email marketing. So I don't want to go too far into that, but what I'm going to do is go through a PDF with you, because in this PDF, I want to help you identify who the people are on your email list, who these people are that are coming through as traffic, as clicks that you're buying, and as people coming through the Traffic Academy traffic packages. These are real people who are looking for real connection, and I want to share with you a way that you can connect with these people, but also have realistic expectations as to what it really means to get traffic and what it really means to convert that traffic using the mechanism that you have available to you, which is a new email list, right? So like Joe mentioned, Vincent, I remember seeing Vincent years ago in different companies, launching different products and things like that. And the guy worked his ass off year after year after year, building those relationships with his email list, building those relationships with a community, and serving them with value. So when you see someone come from, in the first 30 days making X amount of dollars, that doesn't mean that he made that in 30 days. That was the result of years of dripping value on people, and then eventually that perfect offer met the perfect audience, and it really just made a big splash. So I want to share with you now how you can create this long-term approach to marketing, that you can get those fast wins with the traffic that you're buying, but you can also elevate yourself above the noise that a lot of people are dealing with right now in the marketplace, and be that person that next month, 60 days, 90 days, a year from now, 2 years from now, your email list is respecting and responding to you because you've given them something that is different and above what the rest of the market is giving. Okay, so I want to go into a PDF that you guys have access to as Traffic Authority members. And this is actually a PDF that's sold retail for $150 US. Okay, so and it's sold through different channels, but you guys get it as a member of the Traffic Academy. Okay, so I want to actually go through a couple of different concepts, and I really call them the 3 core principles of 15-minute emails. And let me step back a second, because where this comes from is because so I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on a second. I got to share my screen with you so you can actually see what I'm going through. Hold on a second. Screen share. I'm going to share with you my entire screen. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
All right. All right.
There you
So
go.
can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. I can. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Hold on a second. Let me just bring this
There we go.
up so that it is readable. Okay. I want to take you guys back a couple of years, because before I started, writing emails for, companies like, Traffic Authority and other affiliate marketing systems, super affiliates in different spaces, a ton of different niches. I got started really doing this myself, right? Because I wanted to, create a business, and I saw the ability to build an email list and use email as the best method in order to communicate with people. I really did this out of kind of necessity, because I was really an introvert by nature, because I didn't have the, I didn't want to go present to people. I didn't want to go, meet people one-on-one. So the simplest and kind of laziest way for me to do it was to work to my core strengths, which was communication via, written words, where I could spend the time and actually craft a message. And I didn't have to really think on my feet. I could craft a compelling message in a scientific way, right? That could then impact and persuade someone to make a purchase. And if I could do that, if I could big enough list, if I could have enough people that were qualified and ready and interested in what I had to offer, I knew messages that would push people to make a purchase. And that's really where I started this whole process of what I call 15-minute emails. And the reason I call it 15-minute emails is because at the time I was still working full-time. I had a full-time job, and every day I would spend 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening before I left my office writing an email. So I was told to write 2 emails a day to my email list, because if your email list is going to respond to you, you have to be someone that is at the forefront of their consciousness. You have to be at the forefront of their awareness, and you have to maintain their attention in a very overwhelming world that we live in. So I want you to look at your inbox right now, and I want to give you some perspective as to what you are up against when you're marketing through email. And I want to position this with you, because this is exactly how I had to look at it. I was first starting, and it gave me a respect for building an email list. It gave me a respect for understanding how to write a compelling message. But one thing I want you guys to be aware of is the daily emails that you get, the emails that your system sends out, they're all written in a way that will produce action. Okay, I write them every day for you. They're in a way that if you're sending those just as a basis, okay, you should start seeing some results if you send them every single day. Okay, but what I want to show you now is that in order to elevate yourself to that level of competency and conviction, that you can now take what you're sending and take it to another level, where you're not just another affiliate, but you are an actual entrepreneur who is controlling their business by controlling the message that's going out. That's what I want to share with you today. Okay, so this is really going to be for the people who are not just happy with copying and pasting, but want to actually take a personal approach that is simple, and it'll only take you around 15 minutes a day. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you right now. So the 3 principles of these emails is I realized that I needed to make sure that I had the attention of my audience. Okay, that I had the attention of my audience, and I'll make this bigger here. All right, now let me. I want you to understand that attention is something that I want to be very specific with. Okay, because attention is only important if it's the attention of the right people. Okay, so I want you to remove the idea that you have to be everything to everybody, that if 100% of your email list isn't responding, that you're losing. Okay, I want you to understand that that 2%, the 5%, the 10% of your email list that is paying attention, those are going to be the people who are going to finally allow you to become free in your life, to make the income that you want, to make those big commissions, to be the leader that you want to be. That is what is going to happen. It's from that small group of people who are going to give you a large end result. Okay, and that small group of people, the small group of people that is interested, the small group of people that is not going to, just respond to hype and big promises, the people that are going to come into your business and stick, work, and duplicate, those are the people that you want to actually call out in your messaging. Okay, so the lesson on messaging is that you're going to get the attention of the people in your market, but you want to get the right attention. Okay, and that's going to that's going to be done through number 2, which is relevance. Okay, now I want you to understand the context in which your email list, the leads, the people, the human beings that are on your email list are living in. Okay, every single day they are living their lives, okay, looking for the next break for themselves. Okay, if it's the right person that is on your email list, that is going to get on your email list, pay attention, and then make a purchase, it's going to be someone who has already been looking for something, who has seen likely a few things in their time. Chances are they've purchased a number of things in their business. They're building something online, and they want something that finally works, but they want something that they can trust, that really matches where they want to be in their life. Okay, and that's where relevance comes in, because relevance is ultimately how appropriate something is to what's being said in a single moment, right? So if I use the idea of a mosquito, right? If I have a mosquito in my ear, okay, the only thing that's important to me at that moment in time is getting rid of that mosquito. There is nothing that can come into my life that will eliminate the fact that there is a mosquito buzzing in my ear. So everything in that moment needs to be related to getting rid of that immediate pain. Okay, so when you're writing emails, when you're communicating with your list, when you're shooting videos and sending those to your email list, they always have to come from a place of relevance and understanding where your prospect is at that exact moment in time. Okay, so when you're writing emails, you want to talk to them as if you're sitting next to them. Where are they? Are they sitting on the subway? Are they on a bus? Are they driving? Are they walking through the supermarket, scrolling through their phone, and they get a random email from you, right? How can you maintain relevance and hold their attention long enough so that you can get your message across to them? Okay, do you see the uphill battle that we're up against when it comes to communicating with our email list? We're dealing with people who are constantly being barraged with messages that are irrelevant to them, yet they're getting their attention because they're full of hype, okay, and they're full of big promises. But what has created results for me over years, okay, having people buy from my email list after they've been subscribed for 24, 36 months, right? Opening every single email, and finally, right at that moment in time, something was relevant to them and they made a purchase. That is what is able to separate someone from the person that buys traffic, doesn't get a sale, and quits. Okay? And we want to help you become that person that 24 months from now, you're still converting sales from a lead you got, last week. All right. And, you're still converting sales because you're still relevant in the game, and you're still talking about things that are going to help them better their lives and get towards where they ultimately want to be. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do with relevance is there's an example in the PDF when you get it about Ronda Rousey. Okay. And if you're not aware of who she is, she's like the top female UFC champion, and she just kicks ass. Okay. Anyone that gets into the octagon with her is gone in 15 to 35 seconds. Right. And another form of relevancy is to use what's happening in your day-to-day life to connect to the day-to-day life of your prospects, the people that are on your email list, right? And this is probably the most powerful way to do it. It takes a little bit of effort, and it takes a little bit of focus during the day. But if you can do this, and this is part of the second 15-minute email that I do during the day. The first one is usually a quick, let's get straight to the point. Let's make a sale. Let's get clicks. Let's get people to see my offer. The next one is to connect with them on a more personal level. Okay. So the one thing, and write this down right now, make a note of it, starting tomorrow. Okay. If I can recommend one thing that will radically change the way that you communicate with your email list and impact your results. And when I say results, I mean sales, commissions, and people in your team. Okay. Those kind of results, not just like people opening your email. I really don't care about people opening my email, people clicking. I just want to know when there's money coming in the bank. Okay. That's how I judge the success of a business, is not on how many people are liking my status updates. I want to know how many people are sending money because of that email. Okay. And here's the one thing that changed the way that I approached my business and significantly impacted my profits. Every single day, take a notepad, use your phone, use the note function on your phone. I don't care how you do it. Use the audio feature, okay? And every single moment of your day, your awareness level needs to be on a 15 out of 10, okay? Instead of going through life in a sedated, state, go through life aware and paying close attention to what's going on around you, how people react to certain situations, what's going on in social media, what's happening, in pop culture. Pay attention to what's going on, okay? And then what I want you to do is keep a list of these things. Keep a list of the things that are going on during your day. And then I want you to look for the lesson in each event that happens, okay? Look for the lesson in each one of these events. So for example, I took this event of Ronda Rousey winning her last match, okay? And I basically went through a story about how she was a professional, that she has confidence, okay? And then I looked at her competition, and I said that how they were loud, they were obnoxious, she was up in her face, okay? And then at the end, she was laying out on the mat seeing stars, right? Because she lost, okay? And the lesson here is that everyone out there that you see making noise, promising the world, making it rain, all their pictures are on Instagram, they have rented Ferraris, okay? All of that stuff going on versus someone that just gets to work, okay? That just does it, that just gets the results. Okay, and that when they're ready, then you go for blood. Okay, and every single day you get better and better and better and better. Every single day, inch by inch, you get better and better and better. Okay, and this was kind of a message of being a professional, and it was kind of announcing a waiting list that I was building. But ultimately, you can then link to anything that you want, right? Because there's belief patterns in people that people need to believe before they're going to buy from you. Okay, people need to believe that they can do it. People need to believe that it's not just for the top 10 income earners, that it's for the regular person, right? That there's a regular person behind everything, right? And when you can tell stories that are going on in everyone's day-to-day life, the real life of a human being, not some fake ass picture of what it's supposed to mean, okay, to be like an internet marketing guru. When you really get down to real life, that's where connection is made. That's where there's a connection made to you as a person, not just the opportunity. Okay, so that's my second email of the day. Is more of a connection email. Okay, where it's going to give a little bit of a story, and then it's going to have a link to my offer or whatever I'm selling at the time. Okay, and then also the next thing is responsiveness. Okay, so this is the key to what I wanted to talk about tonight, because in order for you to really feel comfortable marketing through email, you're going to need to understand what your list is made from. Okay, and I was talking to Joe earlier, and we said, like, there's out of 100 leads, right? Let's say you buy a traffic package and you get 200 clicks, or you get 5,000 clicks or 10,000 clicks, whatever you buy. A portion of those are going to become new leads, new subscribers on your email list, right? The rest of them are gone, right? They just didn't find any interest in what was being offered. They just never put in their email address. But the rest of them, like, what are these people made up of, right? So if you have like 100 leads on your email list, we need to understand, who are these people, right? Who are these people, and how am I supposed to communicate with them? But ultimately, how can your expectations be managed so that you do stay in the game long enough to actually hit the highest profitable part of your email list? And this is the part where the majority of marketers, the majority of people who buy traffic, who build a list, fail on. Okay, and it's the same reason that you see people on the leaderboards that have earned $60, $70, $100, $150,000. It's because they understand this specific point. Okay, this is the specific point that they understand that you might not, and you need to shift that right now if you want to elevate yourself to that next level. Okay, and this is what I needed to understand as well, because when I first started, I'd buy traffic, I wouldn't get a sale, and I'd just be like, oh, okay, I didn't get a sale, on to the next one, right? But the reality is, I'm now getting sales from people that signed up for my list years ago, because I understand these three parts of my email list. Okay, so number one is what I call the unconvertibles. All right, these are, and that's right here, these are subscribers that will never buy anything. Okay, ever. Like, doesn't matter, like, if they tell you that they're going to join, if they tell you that they're going to buy a package, if they ask you a million questions, if they respond to all your emails with all these horror stories, they are never going to buy from you, ever, right? And that's like 80% of people. Okay, 80% of people of your list will not buy a thing. Okay, and that's totally fine. All right, but here's one thing that you need to understand. The majority of people are trying to sell to this segment of your list. And that's why you get refunds. That's why you get customer service headaches. That's why you get hassles and people harassing you on your email list, is because you're trying to sell to people who will never buy. So what do you get when you do that? Resistance. And when they resist, even if they do buy, they will find a way to reverse that, right? It's their nature. And that's okay. Everyone on this call tonight is not a part of this list. Okay, you are not a part of the 80%. These are the people that we avoid like the plague. Okay, but it's okay. They're on your list, right? And some of them will open, some of them won't, but they will be there. And that's just the nature of doing business as an email marketer. Okay. Now, the next segment is the slow burners. Okay. And these are where I want you to focus. Okay. Because these are subscribers that will buy from you, but they're not going to buy from you right away. Okay. These are, the girls you marry, right? These aren't the, you know what I mean? Like, these aren't the one night stands. These aren't the Tinder, one nighters. These are the girls, and the guys that you marry. It's going to take them a while. They need to be massaged. They need to be nurtured. They need to be shown that you care and that you're really there for them, and that you're consistent, right? That you're consistent, that you're not going to be pushing something different down their throat every 2 days. Okay. And if you email the way that we show you inside, like the boot camp that you're going to get as a Traffic Academy member, this is going to be the most profitable segment of your list. Okay. Now, this is like 15% of your list. Okay. But I've ran these numbers on my own list. I've talked to other people, ran numbers on their list, and it's usually around 15% of your list. So like every 15 out of 100 leads, right, are going to form part of this segment. But the reality is 75% of your buyers are in this group, right? But this is where nobody focuses. So this is gold, right? These are underserved, highly capable and interested, and yet nobody is serving them, right? So this is where the daily email strategy comes in. This is where the long-term focus comes in, right? Because the rest of them, the ones that are going to focus on buying right away, these are the ones that are going to buy, right off the first sales video. You buy traffic, they're going to buy right away, right? They see a sales video, they're ready, they're willing, and they're in. Okay. But these are fantastic to have on your list. Okay. But they only make up like 5% of your list, right? Like a quarter of your buyers are in this list. So the majority of people out there are buying traffic and hoping that within like a week somebody buys. And if they don't buy, there's no more messaging. There's no more emails going out. There's no more value. There's no webinars. There's nothing going on, right? It's just straight up, if you don't buy, then go away. But what we're going to teach you is how to turn, right, these people, right? This is my focus for you, right? Is how do you turn a slow burner, right? How do you speed that process up, right? How do you make it, instead of 90 days, how do you get them to buy in 30 days, right? How do you get them to buy in 15 days, right? And it's through connection and relevancy, and what we're going to talk about next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I call the automatic authority formula. Okay, because instantly you need to create authority and trust and belief that what you're saying is the truth, and that what you're saying is actually going to produce the results that you say it's going to produce, right? And ultimately, like, I could go into this now, but it's ultimate. I'd rather, like, it's pretty robust, right? So it actually goes into like every email that you can send in like 7 days, how to actually do this properly. I don't know if we have enough time tonight to actually get really into this, but ultimately, what this formula is really a 7-day sequence pattern to follow, so that you can answer all the questions that your new lead has, so that we overcome like their problems, fears, and roadblocks right away. Okay. And I think this is the problem that a lot of people are having, which is why people don't buy right away, right? And you see people buying traffic, and they're like, oh, well, I didn't get a sale in like a week, But the reality is because there's something going on in your prospect's brain that hasn't been dealt with, right? There's a resistance there that needs to be calmed, and it needs to be just like relaxed a bit so that they can make a purchase. And that's what we talk about in this next section. So I don't know if I can go through all this. Like it's a lot.
Well, you know what I would think.
What do you want?
Here's some. Well, I want you to continue going into some of this stuff, but one of the things I just want to announce to everybody, a couple of things, right? Okay. I want you guys to really pay attention because, this next segment, without going into all the details, I want you guys to know that if you are a member of Traffic Academy, all of this stuff is available to you. Like all of this stuff is available to you. As a matter of fact, while the webinar is going on right now, I just received a Skype from Adam Whiting, and he told me that the boot camp is live right now. And what we're talking about is this content right here created by Darren. And this is, I don't know, Darren, what you're charging right now, several $100s for this in the retail market. This piece we're looking at right now, this PDF file, if any of you guys want to buy that, it's $150. Or you can become a member of the Traffic Academy, and it's included in your membership. Ongoing, right? I mean, all of this material is there. And Adam Whiting just sent me a note, and he said, it's up, it's live. For those of you guys who are currently subscribers of Traffic Academy, Darren's entire course, which he sells for hundreds of dollars, is available to you right now. Stick around because I'm going to show you exactly how you go and find that in a minute. But other thing I want to tell you, Darren, is I'm sitting over here, and while you're speaking just now, okay, I get a Skype from none other than Vincent Ortega Jr., okay? Apparently he's one of his students. And here's what he says. I'm reading to you guys exactly what Vincent said to me in Skype. He says, "This shit is good. Tell him Vincent said he's the bomb." I said, "I will." He said, "So awesome. This is the shit." And then he says, "He just changed the way I will email forever already." And that was only 20 minutes into your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important because Vincent Ortega is like, he is an email guy. He built his list. He's the #1 earner in Traffic Academy, and success leaves clues, right? He is saying, whoa, me, the master, the guy who makes 10 grand a day, is blown away by what I'm learning here today. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that amazing, man? That really is good.
For sure. And let me show you, now that it's back, it's already back there. Mm-hmm. Why don't I give like a little preview of what is back there? Because this is just like, honestly, this PDF is just like here's how I sell this in the retail.
And Darren, let me just say this, okay? Please forgive me for interrupting. When you get to work with me more, you know I'm the master of interrupting. I want to tell you, when the other day, Adam sent this stuff over. We got a team behind the scenes that actually looks at stuff, and Adam said, "Take a look at this stuff." I was going through, okay, this PDF, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is like critical." For those of you guys who are serious about building a business, right? Traffic Authority is way more than just clicks. What do you do with the clicks? So I'm going to say that PDF, that is gold. That is worth a fortune only if you're serious about your business. Okay, I'll shut up. Back to you,
For sure.
Darren.
Yeah, no, thanks, man. So let me just give you a preview of like what the bootcamp actually is, because it's an actual product that I sell like out in the market, right? So and like the retail price is $297 US. I sell the PDF for like 150. Sometimes I give a discount on that, but ultimately it's a profitable, and nicely, done product that I sell to the market. I still sell it today, and nobody's going to get access to it for under the retail price unless they have access to it within some sort of a membership site like the Traffic Academy. So here's exactly what you get, and obviously it's going to be formatted differently because this is the actual, my version of the product. So it's all the same content, it's all the same resources, everything is exactly the same. But ultimately, it goes through 4 modules, okay? And the 4 modules are set up in a way that we go through a lot of the understanding of how to understand your market in a way that even they don't even understand themselves. Okay. And this is the key aspect of marketing in any arena, TV marketing, newspapers, radio ads, email, whatever it is. Understanding your market is paramount, right? So, and this is where like 90% of the time that, 7-figure marketers spend their time is understanding who it is that we're marketing to, right? Who is it, right? Who is that person? What are they doing during the day? What are they watching? How do they feel? What are their emotions? What are their beliefs? How do they understand our product? What's their problems? Like, how do they feel about our products? Like, do they want to buy it? Do they hate it, even though they need it? What's the sentiment around who they are as a person? How do they view the world, and how do they view our product? And so I spend a lot of time on going through, and this is in module 2, actually. It's called the audience captivation method. And this is where we find out, like, what are people actually talking about when it comes to our market, our product, the problem, the solutions. How are they speaking? What language are they talking? What sort of objections are they coming up with in private that we can now use to write emails about, right? So a lot of the things that I write in my emails, I get responses back, or I get my friends, a lot of my friends are on my email list. They're like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Right? Because they're not in my market. Specifically for a couple of things that I write about. But the reality is, the people that I'm writing to, that 20% of people who are going to purchase at one point in time, those are the people that I want to reach, right? So if I turn off the other 80%, if I really just bombard them with crap they aren't even interested in, that's okay with me, right? I would rather do that than try to please everyone by just talking in generic terms about how things are going to be great when you buy my product, right? But if we can get into the psychology of what that person, what that man or woman is feeling at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday, and we can speak to that emotion and then turn it into a pitch for our product, you will win 99% of the time, okay, over anyone else who's just creating generic, lifeless, limp messages. Okay. So we go through that. We go through, how do you find your audience? Where are they? A couple of free tools to really figure out how they're talking about things. Okay. Then I go through how to use that. Okay. How to use that information to craft your emails. Okay. I go through a 3-step email sales flow. And what this is exactly what needs to be in every single email that you send, right? And then I go into 4 emotions that you need to engineer in your prospect in every single email. Whether they know it or not, you are going to be making them feel in a certain way. You are going to be making them react in a certain way. And when you can elicit a reaction in somebody, then you've done your job. And that reaction hopefully will lead to them clicking on the button, watching the presentation, because you've pre-sold them into what they're about to do, right? See, there's a lot of people out there, right, that say, oh, look how many clicks I can get. Okay, look how many people open my email and look how many clicks I get. Well, who cares, right? If you're not paid for clicks, then I don't really care how many clicks you get, right? How many of those clicks were actually qualified, watched your presentation, engaged in your sales material, and made a purchase, right? How many of those? Okay. And when you can then say, okay, well, maybe I got 10% of the clicks, but 100% of the people that actually clicked were qualified, interested. They were pre-sold, and they were in a higher rate of awareness when they reached my sales message. Okay. And when they reached my sales message, they were then much more open to purchasing something from me. Okay. Now, then I go through, the questions that you want to have answered before you ask someone to watch anything, right? Now, this is a little counterintuitive for a lot of people because, I get emails in my spam folder that are like 2 lines, and you can't help but click, right? You have to, because you're like, what's it all about, right? But curiosity can only go so far. Curiosity as to what's on the other side only works, to a certain extent, right? You're never going to marry the stripper, right? Because you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people will, but like we're looking for marriage here. We're looking for long-term commitment, and you're not going to get that if you're basically selling like a Tinder date. That's probably not the best analogy, right? But you get where I'm going with this, right?
I do, and it works. It actually does work.
Yeah, don't say too much. Don't say too much. And then we go into the automatic authority formula, and this is each email that I have in the PDF, right? And it goes through how to use it, right? What you're actually wanting to create, emotionally, belief-wise, and action-wise inside of each email, so that your prospect goes through a sales process, even if they don't come to your sales page, right? Even if they don't get to your sales page, by the time they get through these 7 emails, they're going to have experienced the sales process, right? So that if they do decide to buy, they're ready, okay? And what does this do? It actually reduces refunds. It reduces cancellations. It reduces, knee-jerk reactions and scarcity-based selling, right? It actually increases responsiveness, retention, profits, and repeat business, right? And if that's what you're looking for in your business, you need to know how to do that right from the start, right? You need to know how to communicate in a way that pre-sells somebody in such a powerful way that when they buy, they already have made a decision that they will never quit, right? Now, that's the kind of stuff that we go through in the automatic authority formula. I can go through a little bit, but I don't want to go through all of it because this is like the actual product, right? But ultimately, like these are the 7 questions, and I want to get you guys write these down, okay? Because these are like 7 questions that need to be answered before somebody makes a purchase. And granted, it's going to be done in the sales video. It'll be done through, testimonial videos. It'll be done through different sales elements that Traffic Authority will create and has already. Like in the sales video, it goes through a lot of this stuff, right? Goes through testimonials. It goes through, why it's different. It goes through, any the pricing and things like that. But what if someone doesn't sit through that presentation, right? Just because it's in a video doesn't mean everyone's going to sit through it, okay? So what I started to do, and this has started to work really well over the last few years, and in a lot of markets, even with repeat business. A client of mine is in the health supplement business, and we just created a 12 email sequence. So this is an example of how this kind of stuff works. We created a sequence that goes out to his customers, people that bought like 1 bottle of this supplement, right? And it goes out over like a 12-day period, and it sells them on a subscription, right? It sells them like, why do they want to continue purchasing? Why do they want to become a loyal member and all this kind of stuff? And within, I think we had 10 emails that were actually set up, and within like 14 days, he brought in an extra $9,300 in profits, just from sending emails to his existing customers. So that's like in a month time, that's almost 20 grand in profits, just from having a sequence of emails that goes out and eliminates rejection. It eliminates the objections, not rejection, but the objections that they have about continuing. And these are all rebills, right? So as time goes on, his existing customers, every time a customer they're going to go through this new sequence, right? And this is ongoing profits that we're going to be building into his business simply by putting in a few extra emails, right? So these are the kind of things that when you uncover these questions that people have in their mind, all you have to do is answer them for them. Because what's the biggest reason you didn't make your last purchase, right? It's probably because you either didn't believe that it would do what it said it would do, you thought it might have been too expensive, right? Or you just really didn't think you needed it at the time. Right? Like there's really no other reason not to make a purchase. Like if you believe what it will do, you believe it will work for you, the price is reasonable compared to the alternative, okay, and you actually need it, you'll make a purchase. So that's all we need to do in our emails, regardless of if someone sees a sales video. We need to answer that for them. Okay. And then I do a little, research. My last email that I send people is usually asking them, look, why they didn't buy, right? Like, why didn't you buy something? Like, what was it? Was it the price? Was it not right for you? Was it, what was it? And I get a ton of emails back, just in my autoresponder sequence, I think it's on like, in my own sequence, it's like the 7th day. And I get a ton of emails like regularly. Every day I'll get a few emails telling me why they didn't buy, right? And they tell me, their objections. They tell me like the actual reasons that they didn't buy in their language, right? So then I can go and say, okay, well, I can either send another email, dealing with that objection, or I can edit the first few emails and deal with it right up front.
Right.
So when you're having an autoresponder sequence, you can then, like, your first few emails, you can just like knock out any sort of objections that are going to come up, right? So as they get to that point, as their emotions start coming up, as they start realizing, shit, I want to buy this, right? They start thinking, well, I really don't have any other objections, right? Because they've been dealt with up front. And I like doing that because it's an honest way to do business, and it also lets them know that you understand them as a person. You understand why they might not want to buy something. And the reality is not everyone wants to buy something right away. And if you bring that up right at the beginning, battle it, tackle it, and eliminate it, you're now in a much more smooth pace to just keep selling to them as time goes on.
And then, and in the relationship side of what you're teaching us here tonight, that goes a long way, right? When you're totally transparent with somebody, you overcome the objection they may have on the very, very front, and then you're transparent with them, right? Like, I love the fact that you're responsive to people when they tell you what the issue was, and then you learn from that. So then moving forward, you're actually connecting with people at a very, very high level. And in the long term, as I'm going over and looking about how 80% of the people will never buy anything, and then 15% of your list is the slow burners, that 15% you said is where 75% of your buyers, like 75% of your money is coming from that small chunk.
Like a tiny little chunk.
Yeah. And those are the guys, and those are the people that you really want to, get through the fog. And those are the ones that the other ones you talked about, the quick fix, they're coming in anyway. What I mean? It's just that you got to them first, right? Whoever got to them first that day was going to sign them up to something, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're drowning. They're looking for something immediately.
They're out there, they're signing up for email lists. They're probably on like 25 different email lists. Right. And you just happen to be the one that day. And or they've been following you, or you've got some sort of presence, in the market. You've got a blog, or you're on social media, or you've got some sort of presence. They've been following you, and finally, they get on your list, and they're just ready, right?
Yeah,
and that's fine. Like they're going to be there. I was that person, right?
For sure.
So I know they're there because I've been that person before.
Well, and I'm looking right now at your screen, and ladies and gentlemen, again, this stuff right now, I just got a Skype message from Carl. He's one of the guys down in Tallahassee. For those of you who know who we work with here, Carl just said in the Traffic Academy section, click on the live training tab, and you will see these videos and be able to download that PDF file. It is there right now. So for those of you guys who are members of our Traffic Academy, you get all of this stuff. But I'm looking right now, do the work daily. I love the fact the plan is to sell and to serve, right? And I want to speak to those of you guys who are like hungry for results, because Darren, you've been around this industry for a long time. We have people who buy traffic and they are waiting for that instant result. They're almost like quick fix people who are now looking to get like 80% of their list to be quick fix people. I want people to understand. I want our traffic authority members to understand this is a long-term game. And by having someone like Darren in your corner, this is like the best stuff. Darren, you are the man. This is, can I quote Adam Whiting? My secret weapon. Okay, this is the real stuff, right? And you mentioned the honest way to do business is I just love your content. I really dig your attitude and where you're coming from. So for real. I want our people to know that, there's so much here, and you want to continue, Darren. We got all the time in the world, dude. I want to. All right, you keep going.
This is the last little bit, and and this is really where you're going to become a pro. Okay, because the reality is, and like you said, it's that the slow burners on your email list, that small percentage of people that are going to make the biggest difference in your profits, in your business, and your contribution, like whatever you are, really wanting to accomplish. It's generally going to start with a small group of people, right? And the reality is, I'm I know Ankur is big in traffic authority as well, and he gets a ton of leads every day, right? Tons of leads. And the reality is that you're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads every day, right? So you look at the numbers. How do they all flesh out, right? How many people are buying, right? And out of those, it's a small percentage of people buying right away, right? They're not all buying right away, right? But the reality is he's got a format that he goes and he emails multiple times a day forever, right? Like the goal is not, like if you put look at your email list, right? And you say, okay, I got 25 leads today, right? Okay, when am I going to delete them? Right? If that is that the question, is the question like, when am I going to delete these? If they don't by this date, like, are they dead to you? Like, are they gone? Do you not want to communicate with them anymore? The reality is you might have one or two people in there that just aren't ready yet, right? They're just not ready to buy something today. But 6 months from now, right? They've been getting your emails. They know you're real. They know, they connect to you. They know what's going on. They understand your views on things and why you're doing certain things. And then they realize, like, you know what? I'm actually ready to do something now. My life has shifted a little bit. I just, I got a 6-month severance package to my job, and I'm looking for something different. I've got some money. I'm in a position where I don't need to get a job right away, so maybe I'll try something new, right? And that person is like, well, you know what? Tom has been emailing me for the last 6 months, right? And I actually like what he has to say, because he talks about my day. He talks about what's going on and his beliefs and lessons that he's learned and things like that. And you know what? I'm actually going to give this guy a chance, right? And he makes a purchase, and then you realize he's like, oh shit, I can make like $4,000 commissions, right? And then he comes in and he drops like 10 grand, right? So that guy is on your list because everyone that is selling the higher end packages, right? Everyone is selling them to people that are just like the people on your list, right? There's not like this magic pot of like rich, ready to buy people. Like they're not just like sitting in a club waiting for people to email, right? They're on everyone's list. There's no like system out there that is like siphoning the good people onto like Vincent's list and the bad people onto yours, right? It's the same people, right? It's just a matter of like what's on the screen right now, doing the work, right? Is doing the work every single day. You get up, right? Imagine you have to lose like 50 pounds, okay? And I'm sure a lot of people on here, I know I'm on like a little health kick, and I'm getting healthier and working out every day. And I do these workouts every day. And I'll tell you this because it's exactly what I do with my emails, okay? So I get up in the morning and I help my kids and, help them leave. My wife takes them to school, and then I make a coffee and I read a bit, and then I do a workout, right? Honestly, 12 minutes. And it's fucking intense. Okay. Like I feel like I'm about to die by the end of
Right.
it,
Right.
but in 12 minutes, it's done. By the time I realize that I've actually worked out, I'm done.
Hmm.
Okay. I find a way to stop sweating. I eat, and then I sit down and I write an email. The same way that I approach my exercise, I approach my email. I sit
Hmm.
down, I say, what am I going to write about? And I can think this all will come to you if your body's right, your mind's right, and you're approaching things in a way that like this is not like a lottery ticket. There's no slot machine here. You're going to go down, and I'm going to do those 12-minute workouts every freaking day, right? Because I might lose a half a pound a day, right?
Hmm.
And then half a pound tomorrow, and then I might not lose a pound the next day, and then but I'll feel better, and I know I'm doing things. And if you approach it the same way, after 30 days, you're going to have like 30 days of emails that you've written, right? And you're going to suck at the beginning. You're going to be like me when I was started working. I was out of breath. I honestly thought I was going to die.
Hmm.
Like I was holding my chest. I was like, what is going on? I'm dead. Right? I thought I was dying. And the same thing with email. You're going to suck at the beginning, right? Your
Yep.
emails are going to suck. You're going to think, why am I writing this? What is this crap? Right? But the reality is you keep going every single day. You get better and better and better and better. And eventually, you're confident,
Hmm.
right? And you're like, I can do this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this every single day. And then you miss a day, you're going to think, shit, I missed a day.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
And that's all I want for you guys, right? Is to make it sorry, I'm just going through this, make it, make it a daily occurrence, right?
Hmm.
And this is like my daily thing, right? Pick a topic and for 15 minutes, write whatever comes to mind, right? Take the next 15 minutes, edit it, and piece your email together, okay? And that's it. Hit
Hmm.
send, okay? Make an
Hmm.
offer and hit send. Every email has an offer, right? Link to your sales video, link to a piece of content, have them connect with you on Facebook, right? And if you don't know what to write, go for a walk, right? I don't know, go have a coffee, talk to someone, right?
Hmm.
Eventually, you're going to have enough ideas that you're going to have a list of things and you're going to want to write them all at once, right? Because you're going to have so many ideas that you wondered where they came from. Okay. So that's basically like,
And that piece is so critical, right? Because I know that right now we rely on swipe files, and we're assisting people, moving them forward and really assisting them in doing some simple things, right? That's what we do here. And so, I want people to consider that this is really the next level. This is where you're taking responsibility for building your business.
yeah,
Our goal at Traffic Academy and our goal for Traffic Authority is to be an educational, it's actually a community. Yeah, there's a money here, and there's a lot of money here if you want to just get busy, as we see some people having stellar results. But really, this is about you really building your brand, right? We can give swipe files all day long, correct? But a swipe file is written in your language, in your worldview, right, Darren? But when somebody starts getting down, quote unquote, as they say, with what you're teaching here,
mm-hmm.
really, really being aware of what's going on in your world, and then pop culture. This is one of the. This is so cool what you're talking about, and then just committing your story. And before you know it, people buy your story, correct?
Yeah.
That's when you really start establishing the true connection. And isn't that the long-term play here? And
Oh, for sure.
for sure, man, that's really what this is about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you look at, shit. I mean, you look at anything, and I go back to like the fitness thing because I have some clients that are in the fitness space, and they sell like diet books, and they sell
Mhm.
like membership packages and that kind of stuff. And I was talking to one of them, and he said to me, he goes, the easiest thing that you can do and the worst thing you can do is show someone a before and after picture, right? Because they want the after picture like right now, right? But the part that they don't show someone is like the 1 day after, right? Or the 1 week after, or the 30 days after. There's no sequential, it's just before, here's where you are, you suck, you're fat, and your life is going down the tubes. And then the after, you're ripped and you have someone in a bikini hanging off of you, right?
Mhm.
Like there's no understanding of like the process that it takes to get there, right? And there's so much manipulation that can be done to get someone quite literally in the same day to take a before and an after picture that you almost can't believe them anymore, right?
Mhm.
And that's where our market is in the make money kind of online marketing space is, a lot of people don't believe the big claims anymore, right? They've seen the claims, they've seen the, make, $100,000 in a month or make, $10,000 a day, doing these things, right? They've seen those claims before. But the next state of awareness and the next state of connection needs to go back to who the person is, right? Needs to go back to who they are and what they want to accomplish. And it's not about those big claims to that person. It's about how is this going to impact my life and those around me? How is it going to help me achieve what I want to achieve? How is this, what you're offering me, going to impact me and allow me to impact others, right? That's what people are buying now at this level, right? When you're selling something that is like traffic, a business opportunity, that type of thing, this market is saturated with huge claims, right? And the only
I call it bullshit. The market
yeah,
is saturated with bullshit, right?
yeah, and that worked, 5 years ago.
Right.
5 years ago that worked, right? You could say, use the system, and make $1,000 a day, right?
Mhm.
Doing nothing, right? That would work. You would get huge opt-in rates. You would get a lot of people buying. But what happened is a lot of people they're more aware of what's available. People have made purchases. They've bought systems. They've bought tools. They've tried businesses, and they've either worked or they haven't. But they know that there's something else that needs to get put into it in order for them to succeed. So if we can just speak to that, okay, you're going to get a better customer, and you're going to get someone that is able to buy those higher level packages, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, you'll have a long-term business. You'll have a long-term business that allows you to stay in the game when everyone else is like, oh shit, here's the next new deal. Let me buy into that.
Well, let me ask you a question, if I may ask you a question, right? Because I know that people are looking for get rich. They want to
Yeah.
move fast. And we hear it in the morning, right? We do a radio show. I talked to you earlier tonight about
Mhm.
every single morning we're connecting. And
Yeah.
there's anxiety out there, right? People, they want it to happen now. They bought clicks yesterday. The rent is due tomorrow. And you can
Right.
feel it, right? But let me ask you, dude, you said that this is like, a 15 minutes per day process,
Mhm.
and it's going to take some time, right? It takes time. Vincent says 7 years to build his list, 2 years before he made his first sale. I think that our goal here is to kind of shorten, right? We want to get
Yeah.
people in rhythm right now, but is this so? Like when I think of what you do in the morning, you go, you bust your butt, you're working out, then you sit down, you write your email, you're committing yourself, you're doing the work for real. When somebody masters these simple techniques, this really is what, 30 minutes a day to craft a couple emails, but you're always in the game, right?
Yeah.
You're paying attention, you're seeing what's going on in the world. I love that thing you said about it being hyper aware, but really this isn't a 40-hour a week gig just to build a list and communicate with your list. I mean, your technique is like you've done the work.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
You know,
It's not like, you know, some guys I know that do this and they have big email lists and they're communicating regularly. There's some will sit down on a Sunday and they'll bang out 5 emails and they'll schedule them to go out every day,
mhm,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever.
mhm.
Right. I personally would rather, I like to do it live, right? Sometimes I'll write a few and I'll schedule them out if I've got something to do, but I like to almost feel like I'm communicating with people, right?
You
And
are communicating with people. That's
and
what you're doing.
people feel that, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And I think when you start doing it this way, even if you do schedule them out and you put some of like you find what's good to do is you find the emails that seem to resonate. People are responding, people are buying, whatever, and then tack that into your autoresponder, right? So that everyone that comes in gets that email, right? If it's an
Mhm.
email that connects well and it talks a lot about yourself, put that in there. Let people experience that as they come into your list. But I
Mhm.
think the best thing that you have now is you have people, all the resellers here, right?
Mhm.
Make are buying traffic, right? You're constantly building your list, right? Build your list regularly, right? Make sure it remains fresh, communicate regularly, and allow the numbers to work out. Allow them to work themselves out, because if you get, let's say this week you get 200 leads, for example, who knows? and then you don't get a purchase, right? It doesn't mean that someone on that list isn't going to buy. Like, just, if you have 5 buyers out of every 100 leads, for example, right? It doesn't mean that it's the first 100 leads, right? It could be like, you could get 500 leads and then all of a sudden all the buyers come, at once, right? So give it enough time to let the numbers play out, right? Work the time in your advantage. Don't be in such a rush. I mean, if you have rent to pay next week, maybe you need to do something else to get the rent money, right? Because like, you can't rely on someone that's getting an email to like just say, oh, yep, I'm ready to buy. Okay. Like, you don't know. So make sure that you're treating this like, a business. And, when I look at my own business, right? And, it wasn't profitable for a while, right? Because I was putting my money back into the business, right? I couldn't take it out and pay my rent with it, right? I had to do other things to make it work, right? And then it got to the point where it's okay, it's working, the numbers are working out, I'm profitable, and it starts to build, right? You talk to anyone in a traditional business, and if you think that they're getting paid, in the first couple of years, like, you watch Shark Tank, some guys are pulling in 30 grand a month in revenues in their business, and they're not even taking a salary for themselves, right? Because they're running their business. They have people to pay, they have expenses. Look at it the same way. You're starting a business, it's not, put in $1, take out 50, tomorrow. It's a long-term, play that you have to commit to. And that's why this works. For the people that are on the leaderboards, ask them how long they've been doing this for. Ask them how many leads they have on their list, how many failures they made, right? How many, deals they got into that just blew up on them, right? And how many mistakes they made. And you'll hear like, no, I was in a lot. And you don't hear about the losses though. You hear about the wins, right? But just know that you're in the right place. Like, if you're doing this and you're working on it, you're in the right place.
And the other thing that we have here, and I know that you're very familiar with this, you go back with Adam, he gives you so much credit for the results that he and thousands, tens of thousands of people have had. So your imprint is across the globe, dude, with the stuff that you've been able to create and teach. And one of the cool things that one of the aspects I do want to remind people about here in Traffic Academy is that this information here right now today, working with Darren, if you're a Traffic Academy member of Traffic Authority, you have access to all of his stuff, the 4 hours of the 4 modules and all the PDF files, all that stuff, ongoing support. It's included in your membership for $97. And very soon you will have reseller rights where you can begin promoting Darren's stuff in your campaigns, and you will receive commissions, and Darren is going to receive a little bit of a piece, and the pie is split up very effectively. So I want you guys to know, just maintain your membership here with Traffic Authority, because if you see something that's very, very cool with this training that we're going through here today, and you share this with some people, it's only going to take 3 people in your group to actually get you into the place where your Academy membership is actually free. It's paid for. It's not free. Nothing is ever free, but you just put a couple people in your group who see what you see. They want to get involved with something really cool, fast momentum, and it can happen fast, and you can pay some bills. But in the long term, what this is really about is understanding the value of that list. Eric Bechtel, he always refers to the list as stored energy. Stored energy, meaning that is like, and when you learn how to do this, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what Traffic Authority is here to do, is to teach you. This is like, you've heard of the ATM machine on your front porch. This is kind of like that, I mean, and I don't want to give anybody those false expectations, but when you learn this, I mean, don't you feel comfortable, Darren, knowing that, you've acquired this skill, you know how to communicate with people, you do it with integrity. And if you ever need some coin, hey, I think I'll write a couple emails, I got a killer offer. And the next thing you know, it's like water coming over Niagara Falls, right? Money just can pour in for people.
Yeah, it's a skill. I mean, look, it's a skill that can't be taken away from you. Right.
Right.
And whatever business you're in, even if you're still working like you're a job, right? Learning how to take what's going on in the world, craft a message that's compelling, that can help people do something for you that you want them to do, is very powerful, right?
Mhm.
Learning how to use email to get, agreements or agreement with people is fantastic. You could use that in your job to get a raise, right? Like put an offer together, right? Like there's a lot of things that can be used when you learn how to write and speak persuasively outside of just a business like this. You could use it in your day-to-day life. You want your kids to behave themselves.
Mhm.
It works fantastic. They don't have
All right,
email
well,
yet, but we'll see.
all right, well, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, right now, what I'm doing, if I may, I'm going to
Sure.
share my screen here right now. I want to show you guys a couple of things. Okay, here I go. I think. Can you see my screen right now? Can you see my screen down here? It has got a traffic authority. Can you see that? Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I was muted.
All right. Okay. No problem. Here's what I want to show you guys. Okay. If you're looking right now and we're learning as we go here. If you look on the right hand side, you should see an upgrade now to access the Academy. I want to show you guys exactly where that is. Okay. I want to show you exactly where that is in your member back office if you are currently a member of our organization. Okay. So here I am right here. Where I am is in Traffic Academy, right? I've logged in. All right. Let's go back here. I'm logging into this is my Traffic Authority back office. And if you go to Traffic Academy, let me shut that guy up there. Go to Traffic Academy right here. If you can see this right down here, it says upgrade your membership now. Now, those of you guys who are already in Traffic Academy, you already know this. For you Traffic Optimizer guys, men and women, this is where you upgrade your membership right now. You upgrade your membership. Traffic Academy is $97. Enter in your payment information, and boom shakalaka, you now are a member of the Academy. And all of the stuff we've talked about here this evening, all of that stuff is going to be included. And this is only the beginning. Okay, I want you to understand that Darren. We led with Darren because he is the man. Okay, he is the guy. This is the guy that Adam Whiting refers to as my secret weapon. As I told you guys, I was receiving Skype mails tonight during the webinar from Vincent Ortega Jr. saying this guy is blowing my mind. And this is a guy with what has he got, 150,000 names on his list? And tonight he says, you know what? Beginning tomorrow, beginning with my next email, I'm going to be doing something differently. So for those of you guys who are serious about your business and you've yet to step up to the Traffic Academy, just do it. Okay? This is the best money that you are ever going to spend. I promise you, if you're serious about your online business and you are serious about your education, Traffic Academy, okay, for those of you guys who are the quick fix guys, chasing that rush, maybe you're already on to the next shiny new toy. But for those of you guys who really are serious about building a business, you have to have the Traffic Academy, period, end of story. Okay. Now there's a couple other things I want to show you. What you're looking at right now, this is something brand new I want to show you guys right now because you're here. This is a Vincent funnel. Okay. This is going to be available for you guys. There he is, Vincent Ortega. Everyone who's a reseller will have access to this and 40 more just like this. There are 40 more of these right now in the works. This is available to you. Now, here's something else. I'm going to quickly point this out as a favor to the team that has worked their asses off. Okay. I'm in my member back office right now. I'm in the resellers area. If you go over, and this is live for all of you guys right now, you go into reseller training. In reseller training, look at this. Fast start. For those of you guys who were with us in the pre-launch, remember those videos? Remember the swipe files? Remember we told you exactly what to email your people? Well, those are here, right here. Personal emails, email solo ads. All of the stuff is here. For those of you who are serious about getting your business rolling, we've got it here, man. Okay. And I have to bring this out because so many people around the world have been so patient with us being Traffic Authority, and some of the things that we have been working behind the scenes to bring to you. Okay. And this is coming live. Okay. Like right now, it's here. Okay. So for those of you guys who are really serious about your business, you're really serious about what the possibilities are, I urge you to take the action right now and get started with Traffic Academy. There is so much stuff back there. It is amazing. It's merely a $97 upgrade. And remember, your team is going to do it. If you've got people in your group, I'm going to bet, if I were a gambling man, I would say that if you have a group, people are going to be seeing really what is going on in that group. And they're going to be making a move to Traffic Academy. And if you are not qualified at Traffic Academy, those commissions go around you. So why not get ahead of the curve? And because it's here, man. The momentum is finally here. We've been working on this thing diligently for years, literally for years. If you talk to Greg, you talk to Doug, you talk to Chad, you talk to Adam. Tonight you've met Darren. The time is now for you to take action for real. Listen, we're getting, and also, again, there it is. You can see it right there on the right-hand screen. I want to upgrade. Is that you? You guys want to upgrade? Hey, listen, Darren, I want to bring you out here. I want to thank you again for taking the time here to share your stuff with our people. Dude, you are amazing. I'm going to take you off mute. And I want to, again, thank you very much. And maybe in parting, maybe you can give some words of wisdom, because you're a member of our community now. And I would venture to say that that you're going to be at one of our live events, dude. You know how important live events, live get-togethers are. And you are, and I'm christening you, like you are the very first ever. I'm calling you the professor of email, right? You're a member of our faculty now at Traffic Academy. Congratulations. Awesome. That's great.
I just want to thank you. I mean, I think it's great. You know, you've got a great community here, and you know, I'm just pleased that I could bring some value. And you know, if you guys have any questions or anything, you know, feel free to connect with me. And you know, I'm just a normal guy. Just I'm on Facebook all day, so you know, if you want to connect, I'm there.
All right, and people will find you again. And you know what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're a member of Traffic Academy, Darren's entire process that has made millions of dollars for thousands of people is included in your monthly membership, the whole thing. You'll have access to some degree to Darren, because you hit up Darren and say, hey, man, I'm in Traffic Academy. Now there's that connection that Darren was talking about, right? You've established a connection.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure. And then we also have the ability very, very soon, each and every one of you who are members of Traffic Academy will be able to market Darren's program to the world. And you'll be able to receive a small piece of pie, and those pieces of pie grow, and they get to be very, very big. Darren, again, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, man. And we're going to have you back. We'll have you back out here very, very soon. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. There's Darren, ladies and gentlemen. All right. For the rest of you guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at radioleverage.com. Make sure that you're there. Also, watch your emails, because you're receiving email from Traffic Authority. You like those emails, right? Hundreds of you attended the webinar tonight. I think that you were inspired by the emails that were sent to you by Traffic Authority, but they were written by Darren. This has been amazing. So be here tomorrow morning, radioleverage.com. That's 11 a.m. Eastern. Stand by for more stuff coming to you as well. We got this back office coming to life this week. So many things. If you're already there, go back and take a look. Go take a look at the quick start training that we have. And remember, we will be back live on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to do a conversion webinar, and we'll give you guys plenty of notice, right? So you can invite prospects. And I'll tell you this, I have learned so much from Darren about how to structure and how to frame an email, that we're going to take some of that technology and some of the things we learned, and we're going to begin framing our webinars for people who are coming as prospects, so we can inspire them to simply take action and say yes and become a member of your team in Traffic Authority. Again, thank you guys for being here. We'll be back at 11 a.m. at radioleverage.com. Till then.